Could fade that in. Good morning, everybody at Jimmy's Grill. Great to have you here. Great to have you here. Later this hour, Alex Pires will be joining us. He'll be joining us to talk after 8:30. Of course, we're at one of the Highway 1's great businesses, Jimmy's Grill. The 222 breakfast is 105 this morning, only $1.05, and that's until 10 o'clock, and we're live here until 10. Sam Wilson, I think, gave away all of his dollars today. Did you? Sam had $105 bills and 105 nickels, and he walked around here giving out free $1.05 so that people could pay for their breakfast. That was kind of cool. Dave Burkholder is here. Burkholder Buildings, we know him as a guy that does great whole building design and building something brand new by popular demand, really.
By popular demand, yeah. I've been doing buildings for a number of years, and over the years, people have been asking me, hey, do you build houses? And at first I says, no, I don't really get into that. And then I was talking with my guys, and I have a good team of guys that work for me anymore. My project manager has been in the business for like 20 years, and I just hired another framing guy. He's been in the business for 15 years, and we have the plumbers, we have the sheetrocker guys, we have everybody we need to build houses, and we're like, so why don't we do it? And right now I have one house under construction over on North Union Church Road right outside of Milford, and we got another one we're getting ready to start in Harrington. And so we're like, hey, let's take this and run with it. It's kind of another division of Burkholder Buildings. We're going to call it Delaware Affordable Homes.
Debuting right now.
Right now, this is the first time we're talking about it publicly. We got a website coming up. It was supposed to be live today, and it didn't quite get there, but Delaware Affordable Homes. And our idea is custom homes for people on a budget. Most people, when they go to build a house, they have a limited pile of cash, and they want to spend it on the things that are important to them. A lot of builders are like, oh, if I'm going to build your house, I'm going to put in the granite countertops, I'm going to put in the the hardwood floor, I'm going to build your Cadillac, and you're going to be forced to pay this price. My philosophy is, let's figure out how much money you have, what your budget is, and then let's figure out what will rank your things that you want, most important down to least important. If the home theater system is important to you, we'll make sure you get that in. If the home theater system, you can pass on that, well then we'll take that money and spend it on your deluxe Viking range. Let's figure out how to use your budget to make where it meets you the best.
All right, sounds great. And the website is live, Delaware Affordable Homes.
It's not quite live yet. Next week it'll be live. So.
Well, Dave,
I'm sorry.
I've done and promoted something that wasn't right.
It's getting there.
What's going on here?
Yeah, but yeah, DelawareAffordableHomes.com is going to be the website, but.
So we're really ahead of the news curve.
Ahead of the news curve, yeah. But no, if you're thinking about building and you'd like to talk to me, you can get a hold of me on my cell phone.
Okay, ready.
569-1220.
And Dave, you're going to be here every Friday.
I'm going to be here every Friday till about 8:30 in the morning. So if you want to just stop by and talk with me, I'm here from 5:30 to about 8:30 every Friday morning, and just stop on by. I can talk to you, or give me a call. I can stop out and talk with you. If you're looking for a builder that is concerned about your interest and designing it to meet your needs, we have a few stock plans that we sketched up, but we really like to design to your needs.
Awesome. And that is Dave Burkholder, a guy I appreciate greatly for the work he does. We've talked to the customers who've had him do building projects. They've all been very pleased, and you will be as well. And now with a new home at DelawareAffordableHomes.com. His number is 569-1220. 569-1220, and I thank him for being a part of the show here this morning at Jimmy's Grill. Now, Jack Riddle is with us. He's the Executive Vice President of Community Bank Delaware, but you're talking about a crab feast. What do you got?
We're talking about a crab feast, that's right. If you watch Catch It Live this week, we talked about this a little bit, and we showed your video on Catch It Live this week.
With the TV commercial?
The TV commercial was awesome, Dan, and so
I want to thank
really exciting.
TV 47 production for that.
Is that what it was? Absolutely wonderful, and I thought it really did a good job explaining now that you're off your 2-month vacation. But yes, what I'm here to talk about is most of you know me, you know I'm involved in Rotary, and Rotary's doing a lot of projects, and they have fundraisers all over the place to try to fund money to bring it back into the community to make a difference. Well, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, September 15th. Saturday, September 15th, from 4 to 6, at the VFW post down in Marshy Hope Way, at the end of Cedar Neck Road in Ocean View, the Southern Sussex Rotary Club is having an all-you-can-eat crab feast, $35. Now listen to this, Dan. Crabs, Hawker's Fried Chicken. Now we know about Hawker's Fried Chicken. I mean, it is awesome. Coleslaw, iced tea, soda included, cash bar, $35. This is the Southern Sussex Rotary Club. Crab feast, $35, down in Marshy Hope Way on Cedar Neck Road in Ocean View. If you have any interest in this, please call Dominic the Shuttle, 302-537-7762. That's Dominic the Shuttle, 302-537-7762. And it's next Saturday, September 15th, 4 to 6. It's sponsored by the Southern Sussex Rotary. It's a great way to get, your last big fill of all-you-can-eat crabs. And before David sat here, I thought you were David. I thought David was back. You snuck up on me. He's really got a good idea about this whole affordable housing thing and the price points and all that kind of stuff. But and I think he's going to be very successful, because you're right. His customers love him to death. And if you come to talk to him, we normally have somebody here from our bank that talks about construction loans. So you can kind of get the whole deal done right here. And Jimmy Weller will probably throw in a generator, and Colin will hook up the propane.
It's nuts what's going on.
And you are going to get it all done and come in here at 5:30 a.m. and 10 o'clock you're going to leave with a brand new house. This is soup to nuts radio right here.
I have to tell you, it has grown into a monster, quite honestly. A humble idea. Hey, let's do the morning show at a diner.
Whose nutsy idea was that?
Yeah.
Have you seen this crowd? I know you're too busy. Have you seen how many people are here?
It's wild.
You know what worries me, though?
What's that?
Sam Wilson started giving out checks for $1.05, and nobody would take his check. So then he tried to go get the money.
Come on.
It was a tough morning. It was a tough morning.
Thank you, Jack. He's a jokester. This man is Richard Benedict. First of all, we're live at Jimmy's Grill, Bridgeville, Delaware. Richard Benedict is the co-chairman of the Delaware Veterans Committee. Richard, welcome to our open microphone. I don't know anything about Delaware Veterans Committee, but you have something called the Veterans Stand Down. Tell me briefly about that.
Yeah, the Veterans Stand Down is primarily targeted at homeless veterans and veterans in need. And it's an outreach program where we bring in folks from the Veterans Administration to tie the vets up with benefits.
Nice.
We have legal folks coming in, like the for child support services, medical screening. Basically, it's we're trying to target all of the areas where we can provide veteran support.
What are your current needs, Richard?
Money.
Okay. How can people help? In the interest of time today, we're going to have you back to talk about an event. How can people help right now?
It's going to be on the 5th of October. So we're looking at A, at volunteers, and B, donations. And donations can be sent to the Veterans Outreach Center at 12385 Sussex Highway in Greenwood, and the zip code is 19950.
Is there a phone number if some other veteran charity groups want to help you and we can all kind of move in here?
They can contact me at 443-632-4777 or the Veterans Outreach Center at 302-349-4898.
After the primary, we'll have a little more time for this.
Right.
I'll talk to you.
I appreciate it, and would like to get back with you maybe about 2 weeks before the event.
We will. We're going to say hi to a couple of candidates, and Jimmy Weller. Jimmy Weller coming up next. We're live at Jimmy's Grill in Bridgeville, Delaware on the new Delaware 1059.
Morning. Remains a steady ride with volume north 13 up past Route 10 out of Camden, headed towards South Dover. North 113 continues to push heavy volume out of Millsboro, right up past into Georgetown. Still look for the closure of Salt Barn Road between Delmar and Sussex Highway in Delmar due to a downed tree and wires situation. Intermittent lane closures in place on the Coastal Highway southbound as you cross the Indian River Inlet Bridge. Those restrictions p.m. Use caution. I'm Andrew Scroy with Traffic Watch on the new Delaware 105.9.
You're never out of the loop, even when you're out and about. And here a quick update every hour on the new Delaware 105.9.
It's going to be warmer with a good deal of sunshine today. The high 88 and partly cloudy, warm, humid tonight with low 68. Front comes through tomorrow. Expect a strong thunderstorm late in the day. There will also be some sunshine. It'll be breezy, warm, and humid with a high of 86. Behind the front, though, Sunday is going to be gorgeous, partly sunny and not as warm with lower humidity and a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
Joe Booth's Yes Votes helped create Delaware's cap and trade emissions regulation, modern winnings tax, and fishing and crabbing licenses. His Yes Votes doubled the cost of hunting and fishing licenses, raised all Department of Motor Vehicle fees, and raised partnership and corporate franchise taxes. His votes force electricians to obtain
just
journeyman
FYI,
and
Tom,
apprentice licenses
in
for
the
their
business
helpers and
group,
laborers, and for
note
us to
that
get permits to replace our water meters. Public outcry
with a
got
minute
that
of
repealed.
spots.
Booth's Yes Votes passed
You do
6
not
state
have
budget
to
bills that
play
steadily increased the
minute
size of state
commercial.
government. His
After the
2009
report
budget
ends,
bill had
you may
11
hit
tax
kill.
increases, including 8% in
carry
our
on.
gross receipts, hidden sales tax,
Okey
and
doke.
1% in our state income tax. Joe Booth has cost us enough. On September 11th, Eric Bodenweiser. He will always be against higher taxes, fees, and bigger government.
This is Eric Bodenweiser. I
lot of
approve
moving
this
parts
message,
here.
and it is paid for by friends to elect Eric.
Video game sales fall again. This is the Dow Jones Money Report. I'm Jeff Bellinger. Demand for video game products continues to weaken. NPD Group says last month's sales of games, consoles, and accessories were down 20% from August of last year as more games were played on smartphones and tablets. Sales of internet-delivered content are not included in NPD's data. After just one game in the National Football League's new season, advertising time for the Super Bowl is almost sold out. CBS set to announce it has sold 90% of the available time slots for the February 3rd telecast. More details have come out concerning the deal Jay Leno struck with NBC to save the jobs of several Tonight Show staffers. Leno accepted a 50% pay cut to help the network slash the show's annual budget by about 20%. Leno will still earn around $15 million a year. His contract was extended for 2 years. Stock market futures higher ahead of the government's monthly employment report. Jeff Bellinger, Dow Jones Money Report.
Hey girl, what's going on this weekend?
I'm getting the family together for a home-style sit-down breakfast at McDonald's.
Oh, you know I love McDonald's. Why didn't you invite me?
I texted you. See?
Come eat break dance at Mr. Dositos? Huh?
Thinking auto spell.
This weekend, get together over breakfast platters at McDonald's with all your favorites. Fluffy scrambled eggs, savory sausage, buttermilk biscuits, hash browns, and hotcakes. It's the simple joy of a home-style breakfast. At participating McDonald's.
Tired of shelling out wads of cash for a good cup of coffee? Now anyone can get a fresh brewed cup for just $1 every time. Introducing Robo Coffee Helper. Simply press the button and voila!
Go to McDonald's.
Robo Coffee Helper tells you to go to McDonald's where any size premium roast coffee is just $1. And it works in German.
Crazy. McDonald's.
Tasting coffee for just $1 is only a push of a button and a trip to McDonald's away.
Limited on offer, a la carte only. Prices and participation may vary.
I think we can all agree that our government needs an adjustment. You can make the difference. Register to vote at Apple Chiropractic and get your free adjustment. I'm Dr. Mike Sherrill. Join me in making the difference. Apple Chiropractic, MillsboroChiropractic.com, 644-4920.
The Cross Christian Academy is a private Christian school in Wilford offering open enrollment pre-K through 12th grade in a safe Christian environment with small class sizes, sports programs, after-school care, and a dedicated class staff with affordable tuition. Homeschoolers are welcome, so sign in today. For more info, go to thecrossca.com.
From the first town in the first state in the USA, we're WXTE Lewis, Delaware 105.9.
All right, happy to be back with you. A lot of people enjoying breakfast at Jimmy's Grill, and Jimmy Weller is in for Jim Weller today. And we're talking Weller's Utility Trailers. Hi, Jimmy.
Hey.
It's busy in here, buddy.
Yes, it is. I got my breakfast. I'm full. I'm happy. I think I'm going to go home and take a nap now.
All right. What do you want to talk about?
Well, it's coming up on the end of summer. The weather's getting a little bit cooler. I know I like it, but we have picnic tables. We don't want to store them away for the winter. We need to get rid of them. We have wooden ones. We have a hexagon one, 6-sided one. We have treated wood wrapped in vinyl. It's a long-lasting one. We have aluminum ones. We have a 4-sided one. We have metal ones. We have probably about 10 styles. Need to come look at them. We'll make you a deal on them. Like I said, we don't want to have to find a place to store them for the winter. So,
okay. Where are they? Are they all in Bridgeville?
Yep. They're actually right along the road. You can stop, look at them. You can sit at them, eat at them, take them with you. That's fine with us. Just make sure you pay for them first. But we have a lot of different ones. We need to get rid of them. We'll make you a deal on them. Also, we have some specials coming up for Patriot Day, which is Tuesday, September 11th.
Yes, it is.
Have some good specials. We have a little flag stake that you would like push into your ground if you don't have a flagpole. It's for $5. It's something that you can install within a matter of 5 seconds. We also have the full-blown flagpoles made in America. Come with the 3x5. They were $300. We have them for $197 until Tuesday for Patriot Day. They can hold 2 flags. They come with the 1 flag. They're 20-foot telescopic. We also have a wide assortment of flags at the store. We have Delaware flags, Maryland flags, Army flags, Marine flags, POW. We even have some holiday flags. So like I said, the flagpole can hold 2 flags, so you get your USA flag and then you get a Delaware flag. So,
very nice.
Good
Fly any flag you want.
Yeah.
As long as it's below the American flag.
Yes,
right?
That's right. So I have a flagpole at my house, and I actually rotate through a couple flags. I have about 5 different ones, and every couple weeks I'll take down the Delaware flag and put up, I have like a happy face flag, and I have a football flag, and so we have them all, but we do have the picnic tables. We also have Adirondack chairs. They take up room. We need to get rid of them. So get ready for next summer. We'll make the deal for you.
Yeah, I think I get it. All those kind of summer items that are out there, you don't want to put them in storage, so go buy them today. You're open when? Today?
Yeah, we're open today. We're actually open right now.
Okay.
We opened at 7:30 today. We'll be open till 5. And then tomorrorow we're open 9 to 1. We say we close at 1 on Saturdays, but Saturdays are crazy, so we close when everybody's gone.
All right, and that's Route 13 in Bridgeville, Delaware.
Yep.
Thank you. All right. Jimmy Weller and Wellers.com on the internet. Good to have him here. It's great to see such a super crowd here at There we go. At Jimmy's Grill. I'm moving a microphone while I talk. One of the things that we do schedule guests to come by Jimmy's. We also have an open microphone. We're going to have John Christensen come up in a few minutes. Before the end of the show today, we're going to get him on the air. He's running for Sussex County Council. He's got a primary. He's in a primary battle, so we'll talk to him. We have scheduled appearance from Alex Pires. He'll be coming up in the next half hour. We'll talk about a little bit about his business, talk about his candidacy. That'll be fun. I see Mike Miller is here. He's running for the 6th Senate seat in the Democrat side of things. And we have Ernie Lopez has stopped by. It was great to have you on as a guest earlier this week, and you've come by our open microphone. Ernie Lopez, Republican for 6th Senate. Hello.
Dan, good morning and congratulations. This is an amazing festive atmosphere. It's like the Super Bowl in here. Congratulations.
It's out of control. It's out of control, Ernie.
As long as nobody gets hurt, that's all that matters. This has been great.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine what it's like running for office. It's got to be very difficult, a little taxing on the mind, expecting an unexpected event, and all the hard work that goes into it.
Dan, I have to tell you, we have been so blessed with the amount of support that we received over the course of the last 9 months, and as we come down to the last 4 or 5 days here before Tuesday's primary, I can tell you, my wife Janice and I and my girls and my family, we're very excited about what's about to happen. The support has been tremendous. We've done this the right way. I just picked up the Cape Gazette. There were 7 letters to the editor in today's Cape Gazette from local supporters from our district in support of our campaign. You can't ask for anything more than that. And people have seen the difference between the candidates, and they've come over to us in dramatic numbers. The last month has been tremendous in the amount of support that we've been able to receive. Our headquarters is full of volunteers making phone calls. We're out knocking on doors. We're excited for this coming Tuesday, and for all the Republicans out there in the 6th State Senate District, the Lewis, Milton, Rehoboth, Harbison area. We're looking forward, and I'm counting on your support so we can move this new State Senate District and move the State Senate into the right direction and end one-party rule in Delaware.
Well, that would be great, right? I mean, it's a bit lopsided now, Democrat-Republican right now.
It is. I'm 35 years old, and the State Senate has been in Democratic control since before I was born, Dan. And again, we need to make that change and move forward to have a more accountable, transparent, and responsive State Senate. I'm looking forward to leading that charge and starting it right here in eastern Sussex County in the 6th District.
You wouldn't want to handicap who's going to win on the other side, the Democrats in your race.
No,
Who do you think?
Not at all, Dan. That's three good candidates, and that's above my pay grade right there, that answer to that question.
Ernie Lopez, thank you.
And thanks a lot. Happy anniversary to my wife, Janice, and I, celebrating 11 years tomorrow. Janice, I love you, sweetheart.
We're live at Jimmy's Grill. This is the Dan Gaffney program in Bridgeville, Delaware, and all over Sussex County on the new Delaware 105.9. This is tremendous, tremendous.
A station that talks about what matters to you, not just politics. The new Delaware 105.9.
It's going to be warmer with a good deal of sunshine today. The high 88 and partly cloudy, warm, humid tonight with low 68. Front comes through tomorrow. Expect a strong thunderstorm late in the day. There will also be some sunshine and breezy, warm and humid with a high of 86. Behind the front, though, Sunday is going to be gorgeous. Partly sunny and not as warm with lower humidity and a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
Good morning, Delaware 105.9 News Time, 8:30. I'm Mark Bowser in the Delaware 105.9 News Center. Attorney General Beau Biden reacts to the Delaware Supreme Court's ruling to uphold the conviction of former pediatrician Earl Bradley, who is serving life in prison for sexually abusing scores of patients over the course of more than a decade at his compound in Lewis. Biden said in a statement that Bradley will never walk out of prison again. Quote, "We are gratified by the clarity of the court's thoughtful and well-crafted decision and the finality of the legal process." Focusing on Bradley's appeal challenging a search warrant which police used to seize homemade videos of Bradley's sexual assaults. The Delaware public health officials report the state's first death from the mosquito-borne West Nile virus. A 76-year-old woman from Newcastle County with underlying medical conditions died after contracting the West Nile virus infection. Nearly 80% of people infected with West Nile do not become ill, but that roughly 1 in 150 people develop severe infections such as encephalitis or meningitis. Sports, well, the high school football season is underway, and the Orioles are back with a share of first place at least for the American League East League. CBS News covers the nation and the world next on Delaware 105.9.
Down 0.2%. CBSNewsWatch.com editor of ours, Joe Schlesinger, and joins us live.
Deal, I think the number of jobs created was a little bit light. They were expecting 5,000. This year so far in total support, we were averaging 150,000. The rate going down could be a good news, bad news. It may be, and we dig into this report in the next couple of minutes, that people will simply stop looking for jobs. That's not a good news for the
The jobless claims last week were down 12,000. How does today's unemployment report square with that?
This here is the open and a lot of stability reports starting to convert from week to week or month to month. There are a lot of discrepancies. Really need to concentrate on this
CBS News Update, I'm Jerry Clark.
Up to the morning, iron to the skirt, tie to the husband, snacks to the backpack, kids to the bus, butt to the train, foot to the pavement, hustle to the bustle. McDonald's for breakfast, oatmeal, up to the office, mine to the money, pen to the contract.
McDonald's Fruit and Maple Oatmeal. Natural whole grain oats mixed with crisp apples, sweet cranberries, and raisins. With or without brown sugar, it's a tasty way to keep your rhythm in step. And it's available at McDonald's all day, every day. The simple joy of a wholesome breakfast. participating McDonald's.
Tired of shelling out wads of cash for a good cup of coffee? Now anyone can get a fresh brewed cup for just $1 every time. Introducing Robo Coffee Helper. Simply press the button and voila!
Go to McDonald's.
Robo Coffee Helper tells you to go to McDonald's where any size premium roast coffee is just $1. And it works in German.
Etwas for Avon McDonald's.
Great tasting coffee for just $1 is only a push of a button and a trip to McDonald's away.
Limited time offer. A la carte only. Prices and participation may vary.
Paid for by Carper for sale. With all the craziness in politics, partisan bickering, and lack of cooperation, one person continues to stand out as a voice of reason. Senator Tom Carper. The results have paid off for Delaware. Upgrades to the Amtrak stations in Wilmington and Newark. Improvements to Dover Air Force Base. Much of the work done by Carper and his staff. And now, for
30 seconds,
centers statewide and leading the fight to save the Harris Corner Postal Facility and the thousands of jobs that depend on it. All right, Tom Carper.
This is Tom Carper. If we're going to solve the big problems in this country today, Democrats and Republicans need to work together. Otherwise, nothing happens. That's why I approve this message and why I'm asking for your vote in the September primary.
Delaware's Tom Carper. Hard work and common sense. United States Senate.
From the first town in the first state in the USA, we're WXDE Lewis, Delaware 1059.
Sometimes the only word that really works is wow. This is unbelievable. The amount of support from listeners and from sponsors and businesses is tremendous here on Delaware 1059, the Dan Gaffney program, and I just thank you so much. We're live at Jimmy's Grill. All of our sponsors are here, and so many listeners have come by to take advantage of this breakfast special. And I just want to thank them all, including Alex Pyries, who is here. And here's what we're going to do. Everyone knows, or you should know if you don't, Alex Pyries is running for U.S. Senate. Alex Pyries also has commercials that he's had before he decided to run for Senate. So we're going to do a commercial time to do the commercial stuff. And then we're going to break into what I call like a news interview segment and talk to him like a candidate, like we've done with so many other people that have stopped by. So Alex, hello. Good to have you here.
Hey, Dan, how are you?
Great. We're talking Rusty Rudder, first of all.
Yeah, I wanted to say a couple things. The Rehoboth Foodie, who's a pretty well-known food critic, did a complete review of the Rudder, and because we renovated the whole place and changed our menu and everything, and he gave us 9 out of 10, which was a great review for us.
Wow, congratulations.
Did a big review, thank you. So Pete McMahon, our chef, is happy, and Cindy Issel and Meg Holtzclaw and the whole gang, they're also happy. They're framing the review and putting it everywhere. So I wanted to thank the Rehoboth Foodie for taking the time to come and...
Can I ask you, how did the season go at the Rusty Rudder?
I thought the season was good. Last year we did 22,000 buffets in the summer, and this year it's going to come in just about that number, maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower. But our deck business really increased. Outside in the decks become the place. It's a little bit less expensive, and I think
it's different menus. Inside you've got the Land and Sea buffet, all you can eat thing. That's top shelf, right? And then, like you say, the different menu outside. Right?
Yeah, prices become important, and families can eat outside a little bit less expensive. And we've also found that true. For example, this year we sold more draft beer than we've ever sold, since my 23 years of doing this. And I think it's because it's people are price conscious. A regular beer is, $4 and $4.25 a draft's $2.75. So,
just because it's not important here, but what is the number one draft beer there at the Rudder?
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Okay.
Bud Light, yeah. So, I mean,
thanks.
I probably bought. I hate to say this. I probably bought 20,000 cases of Bud Light. I mean, I'm a big Bud Light purchaser, but I'm just mentioning. I think price is really important this summer. The other thing that was interesting this summer, the second commercial part, is North Beach is, for the second year in a row, is the king of Dewey. It's the most popular place in town, and they ran away from the competition.
You know, a couple of times.
Everybody in town was kind of trailing North Beach. They won all the Fridays, they won all the Saturdays, they won all the Tuesdays. They won 3 days out of 7.
I've been to Ivy a couple of times this summer, and love that food. And I look over there at North Beach, you know, and I see all these people sitting out there. Who sits on the lifeguard chair there?
A young girl does, and she does draft beers from up there. She does really well.
Served from the lifeguard chair?
From a lifeguard chair, yeah.
Pretty neat. But you've got a neat place there because...
You can go back and forth to both.
Yeah, you can go back and forth and walk along the sand.
Yeah.
But you also
The
have...
Dan Gaffney Show begins its broadcast.
Hey, don't play that.
Opulent new studios of the Delmarva Broadcasting
I'm hearing some audio there. Thank you. That was a mistake. But you can walk back and forth through the sand, but you also have free parking there.
We do. Both places free parking. And it was just a really good year for North Beach. John Snow, who's the manager, also one of my partners, had a really good year. And I just wanted to shout out to them, applaud them.
But I don't want people to think things are over. You know, things are open. Let's talk about what's happening. You know, if people want to dine at the Rudder or go to North Beach.
Yeah, the Rudder's obviously open 7 days a week and still doing very well. We have another month to go, a little bit more than a month. We have North Beach is still open. They closed this coming Sunday. Ivy just closed. Except for weddings. We have 5 weddings coming up. Bottle and Cook has got 2 more weeks to go. Jimmy's Grill and Dewey, they call it Little Jimmy's.
Little Jimmy's, okay.
They had an enormous year. Huge increases, 20-25% increases.
It's a neat spot.
It's a cool little place.
There is a Jimmy's Grill. You can get the fried chicken and, you know, limited Jimmy's Grill menu.
Yeah.
And it's like a garage in a way, like the doors open up and it's open air. I like it in there. It's cool.
It's a very cool place. They had a good year. And Dewey Beach Liquids and outlets that you know about. So of that 8 businesses, I think the only business that I think is coming along, it needs more work is Ivy because it's new. It's brand new. So we're looking for, this was our get used to us year, and then hopefully next year we'll make some money. But everybody else did pretty well. But our economy's struggling, as you know. It's still tough out there, and price is very important to people.
Yeah.
So,
well, we're talking about Rusty Rudder and the Dewey Beach businesses of Highway 1. It's always a pleasure to talk to Alex Pyries about that. I am making a very verbal switch gears here and getting into the editorial part of this thing. He is running against Tom Carper for the U.S. Senate. And you are not in a primary because you are an independent candidate. Your campaign has not really kicked off yet, right?
It really starts in earnest next Wednesday. I'll just tell you what we were doing. We bought 11 billboards on the highway, and they're very expensive. On 95 in particular, outside of Wilmington, you know, a billboard's, you know, a good $6,000-7,000 a month. I mean, it's very expensive. So we got all our billboards coming out all on the same day. I bought 5,000 signs to put out throughout the state. Obviously on radio everywhere. We're buying television on all 3 television stations. I made commercials. I went to Nashville. I've done commercials. I'm going all out, and I'm going to do the full-blown campaign. I'm going to spend 30 times what the Republican candidate is spending. The Republican Party's not really supporting Kevin. I like Kevin a lot, Kevin Wade, but they're not getting behind him. I intend to take Copper on full force. And so last night, I was at the 9/12 meeting in Millsboro, which was awesome. And I read to them the results of one of the polls. And when I started out about 2 months ago, I was 35 points behind Copper. Then I was 22. In the latest poll, I'm only 13 points behind him, and I haven't spent any money yet. So I can catch him. I can catch him. I can beat him.
Why is the gap closing in your estimation?
The poll says the number 1 issue is term limits. People want term limits. He's against it. The number 2 issue on the poll is Social Security. He wants to take Social Security and give it to the private companies. I don't. That's killing him. Number 3 is he gets all of his money from the big banks, and there's a huge anti-big bank sentiment in Delaware. People feel like the 4 big banks are out of control, and that they need to be brought back. I don't know if you understand what it used to be. Prior to about 10 years ago, you couldn't be an investment bank and a commercial bank. You had to be one or the other. This is called the Glass-Steagall Act, and that's why our banks were a reasonable size. About 10 years ago, the Democrats and Republicans together agreed, well, we'll lift it for the first time since 1930. And the banks went crazy. They started buying up each other, and they're so big that they really can't manage themselves. We had to bail all four of them out, as you know.
Yes.
Over $100 billion, and they're very abusive. And I have friends who work for these banks, I can say that. I think we need to get the big banks under control. And that's that's the third most important issue in the poll. I want to break up the big banks. He wants to protect them because they pay him. Those three issues alone make such a big difference between Copper and myself that I can defeat him.
And
I know that doesn't sound modest. I don't know how else to tell you that, but I mean, you're asking me.
Right.
I
mean,
sound
that's
like a braggart, but I can beat Copper. Matter of fact, the Republicans, the poll shows that a very high percentage of the Republicans want to vote for me because rather than waste their vote, the Republican Party's not supporting Kevin Wade. He's a nice guy, but he has no money, no plans. A lot of Republicans in the poll voting for me because it's a way for them to knock out a Democratic seat.
It's going to be a three-way race.
Yeah, so the real liberal Democrats are frustrated with Copper. The gay community is very frustrated with him because he won't support gay marriage. The black community is very angry with him because he has no interest in the black community. The smaller banks are angry with him because he's a big bank guy. The Republicans are angry with him because he's been in power, since 1970. So who really likes Tom Copper? It's a strange group. He's a nice guy, but he's also, as you know, health-wise, he's failing, and I've done my opposition research on that. I have some announcements about that.
I know because that has been kind of an ongoing press.
There's no doubt that he's very sick.
You keep saying that.
Oh yeah, I'm going to prove it.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Has he responded to any of your offers to debate?
He's going to have to because the debates that are coming up, they're so widespread, like the University of Delaware debates that are televised. We're going to go to all of those. So I think I'll have 4 or 5 shots at him. And that's enough. I only need one.
And I know Delaware 105.9, in conjunction with WDEL, which would be our sister station upstate, they're arranging, in their tradition, these federal candidate debates, and we will be carrying those downstate as well. So in some
I'll
instances,
be on that. In fact, this afternoon at 1:30, I'm on WDEL with Rick Jensen for an hour, and we talk about upstate issues and Delaware in general. But I will say this about the campaign: it's a lot more fun than I thought, and people are unbelievably nice. Even the people who don't like my issues, they're very nice, and we're having a great time.
Are you finding it a learning experience then about the
fantastic.
niceness of people?
Yeah, very nice. And, we've been filming the whole thing and making a documentary on top of it all. So last night, in Millsboro, in addition to having my turn to speak and all that, we interview a whole mess of people, and people are just interested in this.
Let me ask you this. I heard one potential criticism. Someone said, he's not serious. He just wants to make another movie, and this is his way of doing it.
I'm actually making a different movie than this. When people talk about that, I say, I am more qualified than Copper is. I'm better educated. I've created more jobs. I'm harder working. I'm in better health. I'm fairer. I'm not a corporate person. I mean, what do you want from me? I went to college with honors, law school with honors. I taught in law school. I taught in college. I created a bank. I was president of the Federal Credit Union. I'm an author. I create, jobs. I mean,
filmmaker.
Tell me when to end. I don't want to brag about it. When people say I'm not serious, my answer is come and see me debate Copper. I was on an issue that, don't forget, I've also had a house in D.C. for 35 years. It's my wife used to work at the White House. It's not like I don't understand the system. I just have a different view of it.
How can people learn more about your candidacy, Alex? You'll be back in the next hour. We have more things to talk about, some of your businesses, but how can people learn more about your candidacy?
They can go to the website, which is called independentalex.com.
Independentalex.com.
Yeah, and it's got all these little videos. They can do that. Thanks a lot.
All right. More with Alex Pires coming up. We're at Jimmy's Grill. I want to talk to another candidate running for county council. He's in a primary, John Christensen, challenging Sam Wilson. We'll talk to him coming up in a minute. From Jimmy's Grill, Dan Gaffney, Delaware 105.9.
Thank you. On the north side of Milford, disabled car carrier on southbound Bay Road between Thompsonville Road and the 113 split has the southbound lanes restricted. Traffic sneaking by on the right shoulder. Highway Department advising those restrictions will be in place for another 10 to 15 minutes. Use some caution there. You do fight some jams. In Del Mar, you may still find the downed tree with wires situation. Keeping Salt Barn Road closed between Del Mar Road and Sussex Highway. On Coastal Highway southbound at the Indian River Inlet Bridge, construction through the midday currently closes.
Because one traffic jam can jam up your whole day. Delaware 105.9 Traffic Watch. Weekday mornings and afternoons. The new Delaware 105.9.
It's going to be warmer with a good deal of sunshine today. The high 88 and partly cloudy, warm, humid tonight with a low 68. Front comes through tomorrow. Expect a strong thunderstorm late in the day. There will also be some sunshine. It'll be breezy, warm, and humid with a high of 86. Behind the front, though, Sunday is going to be gorgeous, partly sunny and not as warm with lower humidity and a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
McFoy Refrigeration, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Yeah, take it.
Family-owned and operated business in Delaware with over 50 years of experience handling business customers' needs. Here's Craig McFoy.
We service commercial industrial heating and air conditioning equipment. We do our best to keep it running and operating for your business owners, to keep them running and operating. Any business, any size, we'll take care of their facility.
Don't leave your business's specialty cooling and refrigeration needs to just anyone. Call McFoy for 24/7 emergency service.
As the service calls come in daily, they're taken care of daily. We know our business owners personally. We talk to them. They call us directly. If they have an emergency, they'll call me, say, hey, Craig, I need somebody now, and somebody will be at.
Refrigeration like walk-in freezers, reach-ins, deli cases, display cases, chillers, ventilation, air conditioning, and heating. Businesses call McFoy Refrigeration at 424-8335. 424-8335.
My name is Ernie Lopez, and I'm proud to be a conservative Republican running in the new 6th State Senatorial District. I'm running for the state Senate because I'm tired of the waste, fraud, and lack of accountability that we constantly see as a result of one-party rule in Dover. More importantly, as a father of young daughters and a son with parents of retirement age in Sussex County, I'm tired of being let down by people in positions of trust right here in our backyard, taking advantage of our most vulnerable populations, our children and seniors. Today, I ask you to vote for me, Ernie Lopez, on September 11th in the Delaware Republican primary in the new 6th State Senatorial District. Thank you, God bless you, and I proudly approve this message, which is paid for by Lopez for Senate.
From the first town in the first state in the USA, we're WXDE Lewis, Delaware 105.9.
Busy day, busy day. We got a lot of people to talk to. We are live at Jimmy's Grill in Bridgeville, Delaware. Dan Gaffney here. John Christensen is here, and he is asking for your vote if you're a Republican. Next Tuesday, you're running for county council. John, hi.
How you doing, sir?
Good. Tell us about yourself. You're running against incumbent councilman Sam Wilson. The Republicans have a choice in that second councilmatic district.
Yeah, September 11th is the day of the day. It's the day.
All right. Tell us a little bit about your candidacy.
I'm a conservative. I'm constitutional. I'm honest. I have integrity. I like to, if elected, I'm gonna have an open door policy at all times.
Right.
So everything that's going on will be public. The public will know what's going on.
Right. Well, your opponent just sat down across from you.
That's fine.
He's giving you the stare down while you're down.
I've had worse.
He's sitting. John is sitting here at the table speaking to us. Sam Wilson came over. We'll talk to Sam today, too. All right, before we're done. What's the biggest difference between this man over here, Sam Wilson, and yourself?
Well, he's already been in office. This is my first time. This is a very learning experience for me. As an Army vet, I believe in the Constitution. I took an oath to protect it against foreign and domestic powers, and I believe in less government. More government is more intrusive on our property rights than our constitutional rights.
Did you decide to run for county council after the controversies involving the office of sheriff in the county?
No, actually, it's been on my mind for some time. As a family man, grandfather raising my grandkids and stuff like that, I see a bleak future for my grandkids, and what the best way to start off is run a lower level government and work my way up.
Yeah. Tell us what you do. Tell us about yourself.
I'm currently a correctional officer now with the Department of Corrections for the state of Delaware. Been there over 15 and a half years. I love the job. It's very rewarding. I like having guys who've been behind bars come up to me and say, going for you, getting on my case all the time, telling me to do this. There's a lot of success stories in there.
Hey, you know what? That is actually very rewarding, I'm sure. What do you want to say to the voters in the 2nd Councilmanic District in the final moment here?
Well, I wanted them to keep in mind, Sam Wilson is a very good man, I'm sure, but if you look at his track record, he has made some bad decisions. There's out of control reckless spending and misuse of Sussex County taxpayer money by the way of community grants and discretionary funds. The misuse of tax money from Sussex County taxpayers must stop. There's a liberal Democrat on the council made a motion to reduce all discretionary funds, no more than $10,000 per council person. The motion was denied because no one, including my opponent, seconded that motion. If elected, I would put a motion to reduce all discretionary funds to no more than $10,000 per council person to eventually eliminate it. My opponent also voted yes for the League of Women Voters to receive $3,000 for a pamphlet about their liberal organization. If you go on their website, you'll see what they support. They support gun control, abortion, Obamacare, and the United Nations. This is not the actions of a true conservative Republican.
All right.
If I'm elected, my voting decisions will be consistent with individual liberty and freedoms of the Constitution.
John Christensen in the 2nd Councilmanic District. Republicans here in Sussex in that district have a choice between John and Sam Wilson. I'll get Sam on to kind of answer that. You can hang out, John. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Sam will come up in the next hour at some point here. We're squeezing everybody in. We're live at Jimmy's Grill, and I did not forget that this is the Friday before a primary, and I said an open microphone. So it's good to see all of these candidates, and it's really nice to see Lynn Rogers. I've known Lynn for a long time through his business, Rogers Signs, and through the fire company. And, we can't forget this 20th representative district. Lynn is a Democrat. He was former county councilman, and he is running for 20th representative district in a Democratic primary. Lynn, hello there.
How you doing, Dan?
Good to see you. I'm doing well.
Glad to see you back.
What do you want to say to the voters, the Democratic, registered Democrats for next Tuesday? What do you want to tell them?
Well, in a primary, as you know, it's tough to get the vote out to start with, and we really want to get everybody out to exercise their right to vote in all parties because it's very important to everyone. I'm ready to get back into politics. My wife got injured, and she's back going now and wants me out of the house, so I love working
That's
for the
good
public.
news. She's doing much better.
Oh,
is she?
She's doing really well. I'm blessed.
Good.
Sitting back years on the county council and visiting Dover for the county council, sitting in the galleries for years, watching how both sides operate. It could be a big benefit for Sussex County for me going back in politics and being in Dover and understanding county government's needs from Sussex to Levy Court to Newcastle County, because it's frustrating up there running bills to keep your county going, and the opposition just can't get them to understand sometimes, and that would be a good perspective for the people of Sussex County. I really like to, from being on council, evaluate the size and effectiveness of state government. Being in small business, it's hard enough to create a business and let alone keep your doors open. And some of the over-regulations today really concern me. And I think an evaluation of many of the agencies needs to be looked at, whether it be DELDOT, DNRAC, to see how effective it is and how it affects these small businesses. Yeah, we have to have regulations and rules, but sometimes it's just overbearing of what some of these things do.
You're listening to Lynn Rogers. I'm glad I could get you on for a few minutes. Hope you enjoyed your breakfast today. He's asking you to vote if you're a Democrat in the 20th Representative District. I've always thought you've been a fair guy. Why are you a Democrat, by the way?
Well, I was born one, and, I'm in business, and when you're in business...
Democrats are different today than they were back when you were a kid?
I think the view of the constituents to a Democrat's different. People look at the individual now more so than they do the party. If you notice now, being in the sign business, you don't see the donkey or the elephant on signs too much anymore. It's all about name recognition and what you can do for the people. My family was Democrats, and I just never really changed. And when I got into politics, I was what I was, but I was kind of labeled as a conservative, and being in business, you have to be.
Lynn Rogers, this is not an endorsement. I just tell you what I know. I know him to be a hardworking guy, a fair man, and a good guy, and certainly plugged into the community. Good luck, Lynn Rogers. All right?
Thank you, Dan.
All right. Next Tuesday. What's that? Sam Wilson would say.
Agenda is their agenda, so I.
Clock here on Delaware 105.9. Andy Staton, our guest
Local
next.
news first on Delaware 105.9.
Delaware 105.9 News Time, 8:59. Good morning. I'm Mark Fauser. Earl Bradley will never walk out of prison again. And Attorney General Beau Biden says he's gratified by, quote, the clarity of the Supreme Court's thoughtful and well-crafted decision rejecting Bradley's appeals on the seizure of evidence from his Lewis area compound. Bradley serving life in prison for sexually abusing scores of young patients over the course of more than a decade. Well, troopers have been investigating a serious crash in the Walnut Shade Road, Magnolia area. And also the passenger has now died in that crash. He's identified as Antoine Somerville, 27-year-old of Frederica. The accident happened a week ago today and remains under investigation. Where can you find some of the nation's finest farmers markets? You won't have to go far, according to a new survey. From the first town in the first state, this is WXDE Lewis, Delaware 105.9. CBS News covers the nation and the world. Coming up next. Good morning. It's 9 o'clock.
Seating machines. I'm Frank Setterpenny. New employment numbers are out, and they're a mixed blessing at best for President Obama and the Democrats. Unemployment fell 0.2 of a point in August to 8.1%, but the economy added a weaker than expected 96,000 jobs.
Okay, thank you, Alex.
You know, you and I share something. We both won that Body for Life thing in Gold Ship.
Oh, yeah. My wife won the $5,000. She was second in her age group for the world.
CBSMoneyWatch.com.
During that same, yeah, she really ripped it. We did it at the same time. Yeah.
President Obama is determined to hang on to his job.
I struggle every day.
And he's heading back to the campaign trail with a big send-off from the Democratic convention. Live from Charlotte,
You come home at 8:30 at night, you don't want to
Dan Cole.
Same thing. We're running for a new radio station.
And by the way,
Thanks, man. We're eating all the time. Pizza, sitting around.
States of New Hampshire, Iowa,
gym.
and Florida. With the race a virtual day,
Be with you in a minute.
get out the vote efforts are critical.
Look, I'm going to
National
treat you like I
Education
treat everybody else. What we do is
Association's
just
Dennis
kind
Van Roken says their 3 million members will help.
Most of those people live in the community where they work, and those educated voices are powerful.
Mitt Romney also leaving New Hampshire for Iowa today. Frank?
Well, the Romney campaign is hitting the airwaves in 8 swing states, so the new batch of TV commercial is hitting
A little shorter than I thought.
This president
They're all
can't tell
tall.
us it was someone else's fault.
Good to see you.
But this president cannot tell us that you're better off today than when he took office.
A study out today raises questions about a procedure that millions of women have every year.
European researchers, mammograms and x-rays further raise the breast cancer risk of women under 30 who have a higher risk anyway because of certain gene mutations. breast cancer is uncommon in this age group, but the researchers suggest that younger women do need a diagnostic test because they have so-called BRCA1 or BRCA2 mutations. MRIs might be a better option because radiation isn't used.
CBS News correspondent Barry Bagnano. Government officials say the hantavirus has taken the life of a third person who went camping in Yosemite National Park this summer. Park spokeswoman Carrie Carr.
The area where we feel the hantavirus is situated has been closed, and we are not accommodating visitors in those cabins.
That virus is spread by rodent droppings. The initial symptoms feel like the flu. Hurricane Leslie could pay a call on Bermuda on Sunday. General Manager Ken Watson at the Cocoa Reef Resort says workers have started boarding windows.
It might be an upside, it might give it another hit. We're taking no chances whatsoever.
Today's jobs report doesn't seem to be moving Wall Street very much. Ahead of the opening bell, less than 30 minutes from now, S&P futures are pretty much where they've been all morning. They're ahead about 3 points. This is CBS.
Every so often, the stars are in perfect alignment. And during the Lincoln Certified Pre-Owned Autumn Sales event, now is the perfect moment. For a limited time, get 0.9% APR with the Certified Pre-Owned Lincoln of your choice, which also comes with the confidence of our 6-year, 100,000-mile comprehensive warranty. The Lincoln Certified Pre-Owned Autumn Sales event, exclusively at your Lincoln.
Crazy.
APR
Crazy
rates
busy.
are not all
This is your regular time.
Financial services and return financing. Take delivery from dealer stock or 10-12. See dealer for qualifications, limited warranty, and details.
Andy Cannon.
What's the Andy segment? Teacher, judge. These are just a few of the people who've lost a child to heat stroke after leaving them in an empty car. 33 children died last year alone. It can happen to anyone. Even you could forget a sleeping or quiet baby. If you have small children, get in the habit of checking the vaccine every time you exit your vehicle. It could mean a difference between life and death.
First setup
Where's
of this
baby?
vehicle.
Look before you lock. To learn more, visit safercar.gov/heatstroke.
Delaware 105.9 News Time 9:04. Good morning. I'm Mark Fauser. A Milford man is in custody after police say he sexually abused a child for over a year at his home. The assaults, according to police, took place at the Valley Run Apartments. Hakeem Bryant is charged with 3 separate counts of sexual abuse in the first degree and other offenses. He's now being held with a $180,000 cash bond. Officials with the Partnership for the Delaware Estuary say the overall health of the Delaware River and Bay Estuary is improving. Executive Director Jennifer Atkins with the partnership.
Water quality in the Delaware River and Bay.
I just usually don't like doing it.
Long time, but that's been slow improvement over time.
The challenges do remain, she says, including shad and oyster populations continuing to struggle, also the sturgeon population in trouble, and officials are expressing concern about the loss of forest and wetlands which absorb and filter runoff and are critical buffers for water quality. A court-appointed monitor says Delaware's mental health officials are making good progress in treating more patients with mental illness in community settings rather than in institutions. Robert Bernstein is monitoring the state's progress under a 5-year settlement with the U.S. Department of Justice. The agreement was announced last year after federal officials issued a scathing report criticizing the warehousing of people at the state-run Delaware Psychiatric Center. Bernstein issued his second 6-month progress report, and he found that Delaware is largely meeting its benchmarks and making significant progress in retooling its systems in fulfillment of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Bernstein did note the state is facing information technology challenges in developing a target population list and implementing electronic health record systems as well. Well, 2 Sussex County farmers markets have been voted among the nation's best. They are in Lewis and in Rehoboth Beach. Named 2 of America's favorites, according to a recent survey. They're both locally run community markets, ranking in the top 20 of medium-sized markets in a national contest held by the American Farmland Trust. Schofield on Sports coming up next. Delaware 105.9 News Time, 9:06.
It is the biggest investment you will ever make, and some smart investors say now is the time. I'm Gil Gross from Real Estate Today.
And I'm Tom Kreitler from the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
Whether you're out shopping for your next house,
or if you're attacking the to-do list on the place you already call home, join us.
Listen for Real Estate Today, Saturdays, 11 to 1.
Then stick around for the Money Pit, 1 to 3 on the new Delaware 105.9.
He's a good guy. If I was there...
2012 high school football season got underway last night with the third annual DFRC Kickoff Classic as Sussex Central visited Lake Forest. It was a defensive struggle with the game scoreless into the fourth quarter when a costly fumble gave Central great field position, and they were able to take advantage with Shaquandis Murray scoring from 2 yards out to give Central the lead and the 6-0 win.
That's true.
More local teams are in action tonight.
That's true.
Cape Coast Laurel, Indian River heads to Stephen Decatur.
Thomas, I haven't said it 10 times today. I'll say it again. Thanks for everything you're doing back there.
Takes on Delaware Military Academy. Polytech hosts Sussex Tech. Smyrna's at home against Middletown, and Milford welcomes Concord. The Orioles got 3 home runs in the 8th inning to break a 6-6 tie with the Yankees and grab a share of first place in the AL East. 10-6 was your final, and the Washington Nationals sweep the Cubs 9-2. That's Schofield on Sports on the new Delaware 105.9.
From the first town in the first state in the USA, we're WXDE Lewis, Delaware 105.9.
From the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center, we expect a mix of clouds and sun today. Lots more sun than we've seen the past few days, a high of 88. 3-day forecast, high tomorrow of 86 with a chance of a thunderstorm, and for Sunday, the high under partly sunny skies, 77. I'm Mark Fauser, Delaware 105.9 News. The Dan Gaffney Morning Show continues live from Jimmy's Grill on Delaware 105.9.
I'll tell you what, if there was ever such a thing as a town meeting place, this is certainly it today. We have all sorts of great people have stopped by our live broadcast, and we're going to meet Andy Staton, a Democrat. I hope Staton? We're going to meet him. He's running for the 6th Senate seat, and registered Democratic voters have a chance to vote on that next Tuesday, so we're going to meet him a little bit. It's all Andys, though, this hour. A different Andy. Andy Cannon is here from George Sherman Corporation. Good to have you here, Andy. Thanks for joining our live broadcast.
Morning, man. Glad to be here.
It's awesome to have you, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about George Sherman. I saw Dean Sherman here earlier. Is he still around somewhere?
Yeah, he's sitting over there in the booth. He wanted to come out and support as well.
I think he's having one of those breakfasts, is he? I hope.
Might be working on it. Yeah, he's having
No, you were going to say his second one?
No, I wasn't gonna
all right. The 222 breakfast is only $1.05 today.
Yeah.
$1.05. So that's an awesome deal until 10 o'clock. So if you're on your way out here, you get a chance to participate in that.
And they're not the small pancakes. It's a plate full of pancakes.
No, man, this is a huge breakfast. And it's in honor of our live broadcast here today. We also have free coffee mugs and keychains and things like that. Every Friday at this time, we're going to talk about the George Sherman Corporation.
Yep.
And you're continuing your tradition of educating the consumer about your services.
That's right, Dan. George Sherman Corporation has been since 1960, servicing both Kent and Sussex for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, heating oils, and propane. And we service everything. I mean, that's a great part about having that opportunity of coming to work for George Sherman and being part of a team here is that I taught our police department services, not only everything we sell, but everything else that's out there pertaining to the trades that we take care of. So we're truly a full-service company. Great example, with the geothermal becoming a lot more popular over the last 10, 15 years, is we continue to educate and train our employees as well, so we can go out and not only educate the customer on those types of ways to save energy, but also service after the sale, having our technicians being able to service them.
I did a live broadcast one time, been inside your,
yes.
You have a name for
a solution center.
Your solution center.
Yeah, you find yourself walking around in one of those big box stores looking for a plumbing fixture or, again, heating and air conditioning equipment, everything that's on the showrooms, live burn fireplaces. The Solution Center is, again, an opportunity to bring the customer in, educate them on all the products that we
You can
sell.
see everything side by side, right? Everything's right there.
And we've got a real neat touch screen, so if it's not something that we have on the showroom, we can go on to the websites and do a presentation on everything from Kohler to Moen to Delta, any type of faucet that you're thinking of, or heating and air conditioning. That's another nice thing on the showroom. A lot of people want to know about efficiency, how big the outdoor units are now. And SEER rating is a name that you hear a lot, seasonal energy efficiency rating of these new units, and they're much larger footprint than the old units. So we have them on the showroom, so you can see how big they are. But we just don't sell one brand. We sell all the brands, major brands, and service them. But we also offer 0% financing on all of them. And so all the products that we have, You can qualify for 0% financing on, and that's not something that you're going to hear from every.
That's all the products. So if you need
fireplace, tankless water heater, boiler, your the fireplace live burn displays right now is one of the things that a lot of people don't know that we sell. And part of my job is to continue to educate people on these products. We have an office up in Milton that has live burn displays of fireplaces, and we incorporated the same thing down in our solution center down in Lewis on Clay Road.
Clay Road. I was going to say, for listeners right now that want to go to this solution center, see all the things Andy's talking about, where are you located?
We're at 33759 Clay Road.
Now, like Westcoast Corner side of it, right?
Westcoast Corner, right there by Toddy's. You see his center right there, and you turn right past behind Windsor Flowers, right there behind it.
Gotcha.
Been there since the 80s. We put the Solution Center, opened it up last April. And for those of you that want to call in, you can call in at 645-567 for all of Sussex County. And if you're in Kent County listening, you can call in at 697-9601.
All right, 645-5267. I love it. I've had the occasion of using George Sherman for plumbing. Also, I've talked about their the propane heating oil, part of their business too.
Well, I mean, I went out and saw a customer last night. How's our propane service? And I went out there to talk to him about a generator. It was as I walked in, just within the last year or so, he had a geothermal system put in by someone else because he didn't know that we did geothermal. That I thought you were just a propane company.
Yeah.
So as I just talked to him about the other products that we do, he's looking forward to signing him up as a service contract. To continue to service his geothermal as well. So again, that's the great thing about being diversified, not having your hands tied, and being able to provide great customer service. And that's what we're committed to, the customer service.
All right. Go to the Solution Center, Clay Road, Westcoast Corner. We're talking about the George Sherman Corporation, Andy Cannon, answering all your questions. You can phone them at 645-5267.
Or in Kent County at 697-9601.
Very good. Anything else before we let you go today?
Again, we want to welcome you to your new radio spot.
You guys are awesome.
Like got a great turnout today.
Appreciate
being part of it.
Oh my goodness, it has been very, very busy here today.
Morning's going by fast.
Yeah, it is. Thank you very much, Andy Cannon. And that Solution Center is right in the midst of the 6th Senatorial District. It is quite a district. I've taken very special interest, as a lot of people have, in the 6th Senate District because it is the heart of Delaware 105.9. It's the heart of just huge business center for the state of Delaware. It includes Rehoboth Beach and Dewey and Lewis and Milton. I mean, it's an amazing thing. So on the Democrat side of things, facing a primary this coming Tuesday is Andy Staton, and he's here right now. Hi, Andy.
Good morning.
Good to have you on the microphone. I'll give you the opportunity I've given all the candidates, and this is your first time on the mic. So tell us who you are. Tell our listeners, who is Andy Staton?
Andy Staton is a son of an immigrant. He's a small business owner. My mother's German. I see a shocked look.
No, I was just going to say, okay, what country?
Germany.
Okay.
Son of an immigrant. I'm a small business owner. Very involved in the community, involved in a number of organizations.
And what is your business?
I am a small real estate practice group out of Prudential Gallo and Rehoboth.
Okay, all right.
And actually, just in the last few months, I recently sold a tavern and package store in Greenwood, the Greenwood Tavern and Package Store.
Okay, very good.
And involved in the community, on the board of the Y, board of ambassadors of BB, and quite frankly, someone who's running, who understands the issues, and who's prepared to deliver results in the community.
Okay, understands the issues. What are they? What are the most important issues to Andy Staton, or what do you feel the most important issues are in the 6th District?
I think it culminates into 3. While this isn't all of them, I think we talk about job creation and how we go about doing that, talking about an effective transportation system, potentially go into a public-private partnership, and also talking about long-term infrastructure needs as we continue to grow as a community.
The transportation.
Right now that we have a public transportation system that isn't being exactly. When I step back a year ago, I decided to move. To explore.
that mean, the state is going to help fund more into transportation?
I think in the beginning it will have to take some public funds to help do that, just as we did with the ferry or we do with the ferry.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So I think there's definitely people who can do that.
You stick around. I got to take a short break.
Okay.
With Andy Staton. He is a Democrat endorsed by the governor, actually, in this race. We'll ask him about that, a few other issues that he thinks are important and that I want to know about. And we'll do that coming up. Andy Staton, my guest, live at Jimmy's Grill. Wow, busy day today. Delaware 105.9.
You figure you get to talk to people you know from the new Delaware 105.9.
It's going to be warmer with a good deal of sunshine. Warm.
Oh, yeah. No, he's going to be.
Sunshine and breezy, warm day, high 86. Behind the front, though, Sunday is going to be gorgeous, partly sunny and not as warm with lower humidity and a high of 77.
Joe Connor, and I'm back, and so is the real estate market. Things are improving, but there's still lots of opportunities in town. I have 9 great investment homes in Milford. All of them are generating over $9,000 annual revenue, and they're priced from the 60s to the 90s. Buy one, buy them all. South of Milford, we have a bank property in Stone Manor. It's a great country life community, and in Heritage Shores over in Bridgeville, a wonderful golf community, there's a great one as well. Both of these are about to be released for sale. Call for details. Call me, Joe Connor, 2-559-4688, or go to www.joeconnor.com. I would love to help you sell your property. We do it right. We do it professionally.
I wish I didn't
the highest possible price in the shortest possible
When we went
time.
out, we lost service. I don't know if you heard that. All of
302-559-4688 or www.joeconnor.com.
This is Eric Bodenweiser. I approve this message.
Throughout this campaign, I've stayed on the high road and told you the truth about real issues. Now, at the end of the campaign, my opponent has chosen the low road, taking sound bites out of context, trying to make personal attacks about me, and leaving me with no time to respond. On September 11th, vote for me.
My
Eric
kids are
Bodenweiser.
better
I will
behaved.
always stick to the real issues and tell you the truth. For more information, visit ericbode.com.
That's my friends to elect Eric.
From the first town in the first state in the USA, we're WXDE Lewis, Delaware 105.9.
Great to be here live at Jimmy's Grill. Dave Hill is here from Outlet Liquors. He is the wine manager. This place is so big, Outlet Liquors, that, I don't think there's anything you don't carry. If it's available in Delaware, you probably have it.
You take great pride in having the best selection, I know, downstate for your wine, beer, and spirits. You'd probably go 100 miles. You would have to go way up north to even find a place with a better selection. But we go out of our way to make sure we have the best selection with the newest products and at the prices that our customers want. So when folks come in, we greet them as they come in, Dan. We have a great friendly sales staff. We go out of our way to work with the customers who need help. If they're in there, if you're looking for a $4, $5 bottle of wine, we have those in our value bins. We have all the varietals to choose from. We have dozens of winemakers. We'll sit there. We'll help you make out the right selection. Our store is set up by varietals. So if you're looking for a Pinot Noir or a Chardonnay, we find out what you had in mind. If you're just doing a dinner or a party planning or a special gift, you want to spend $20, we have a huge selections in the $15 to $20 range for all the varietals that you can get. Some people will come in and they themselves may not know about wine, but they're looking for a housewarming gift. Or, from the summers, from beef rentals, or if you have just closed on a house and people are looking for nice gifts to folks who love wine, we'll make sure you get the appropriate gift for that customer. If it's $40, we got those. Our fine wine selection, Dan, is the best I know in the state. Anywhere we have a separate section from 50 to 100. We have a very selection of 100 on up. But whatever the customer needs, we're looking for value, you're looking for selection. If you don't know what you want, we'll help you find out what you want. You'll leave a happy customer. You come in knowing what you want, we're going to have it. For some reason, it's not carried and available in Delaware, we'll have it ordered and get it in for you as quickly as possible.
That's what they do at Outlet Liquors. I don't want to assume people know where you are. Tell us how to find you.
We're right off of Route 1. If you're heading into Rehoboth, we're right past the PNC Bank and before IHOP. It's there on the right. If you're coming north on Route 1, after you cross the bridge, you turn left at the fourth light. It's sort of like do it in reverse. The IHOP there. We're right there in the mall across from the outlets. Easy in, easy out, great parking. And as we said, best selection you'll find, the best prices, the best staff, and probably the best shopping experience you can have.
You got it. Dave Hill and Outlet Liquors Rehoboth. He's the wine manager. He's pumping up the whole store. You should stop in. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. We really want to give one last great thank you to all the customers for a great summer.
All right. We'll talk to you again coming up after the news break, Dave. Andy Staton is here. We're in the midst of a conversation with him. Welcome back to that. Andy Staton, Democrat in the 6th Senate seat, talking about transportation. He actually surprised me a little bit with that. I didn't realize you're for funding more busing and maybe a public-private partnership. You feel it's really needed.
We're currently funding public transportation as it is. I'd rather look at ways we could use that money more effectively to better service the community.
Let's talk about if you were your opponent. One of your opponents, two. One of your opponents has made it a part of his regular campaign to bring up, he's not for gay marriage. Andy Staton is. So I wanted to give you a chance to address that. So.
I'm certainly supportive of equality in the state of Delaware. Marriage equality is something that is going to go forward and something that's being talked about. It's an issue that could, if my responsibility is to address the issues that are important to the district and the 6th district. And
so the civil union bill might even go further than civil unions to marriage before that.
I'm not that bill is being put forward on marriage equality.
But if it came forward,
I know it's being discussed.
You would support it. I would. Well, so your opponent's telling the truth there. He just says that's one difference. What other differences are that you see? When the Democrats go to the polls, what are the differences between you and Bob Frederick and between you and Mike Miller that the listeners need to know about?
As we focus on this campaign, we have to look at what are the issues that are important, right, and about delivering those results. The primary discussion in this campaign is about job creation. We hear that from the Republicans, we hear that from the Democrats, we hear that from the Independents. In my opinion, you have to start to look at where the needs are, and quite frankly, it's very clear. Over the next 5 to 7 years, there will be more than 3,000 jobs in healthcare and medical services in Sussex County alone. And it's about how do we start to fill those jobs? How do we start meeting the needs of the folks folks that are moving in, people that have moved in, been here for a long time? How do we start training and educating? How do we get senior medical professionals to move into the state without
So what do you do about it as state senator?
Well, there's a couple ways to do that. In order to create jobs here, you have to attract your professionals. You got to get doctors to come in. You got to get 50 doctors to move here and start creating jobs. We are a medically underserved area, and there's a couple ways to do that. we can start offering some incentives to medical students coming out of school. Move into the state, we'll start talking about maybe a debt relief. We start investing in businesses, we're investing in manufacturing, we're investing in infrastructure. Consider investing in people themselves. Maybe do a 10-year debt relief program, a couple $1,000s a year. I don't know exactly how much, but we need to take a look at that, a closer look at that, right? Because if in fact we invest in them for 10 years, they're going to get potentially married, potentially spoused, they're going to have kids potentially,
Yeah.
they're going to put them in schools and get ingrained in the community.
The last minute or so is yours to talk directly to the voters, Andy. What do you want to say?
I'm a candidate who's focused on solutions in this campaign. And it's about creating job opportunities to make sure we're taking care of the people that live in this district. That's big. If we can start meeting the needs, then people will no longer have to go outside of our district to get doctor's appointments. People will be able to find a safe way to get up and down our highways to get to see their family, to get to a doctor's appointments, the grocery stores, and everything else. And finally, we have to have a long-term discussion about the growth in this area and how we start addressing infrastructure needs. Right now, we have to start building more schools. We have to start looking at roads. We're going to have to hire more police as we continue with it. We know the numbers are clear. We're going to continue to grow. We've already grown. It's a big, big concern. And I'm having meet and greets probably 3 or 4 times a week, and these are the issues that seem to be important to the district.
Andy, thanks for coming out here. Glad to give you the time that we could give you. Thanks for making the trek out of the district to Bridgeville today.
I appreciate the opportunity. And, lastly, I hope I earn the vote. I'm asking for the vote.
You have a website or a phone number?
www.andystaton.com. You can like us on Facebook. I think today we're at 750 likes. And you can call us at 703-9090.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
for being here. And that sound means it's time for a news break as we continue our live broadcast and our open microphone. That was a scheduled guest. We have an open microphone. Next on the open microphone rotation, Sam Wilson, Sussex County Councilman. He'll be up after the news on the Dan Gaffney program at Delaware 1059.
Whatever the weather, you'll hear it here. First thing in the morning and throughout the hour, throughout your busy day. The new Delaware 1059.
It's going to be warmer with a good deal of sunshine today. The high 88 and partly cloudy, warm, humid tonight, low 68. Front comes through tomorrow, expecting a strong thunderstorm late in the day. There will also be some sunshine. It'll be breezy, warm, and humid with a high of 86. Behind the front, though, Sunday is going to be gorgeous, partly sunny and not as warm with lower humidity and a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson in the Delaware 1059 Weather Center.
Delaware 1059, the news time, 9:30. Good morning, I'm Mark Fauser. Delaware Attorney General Beau Biden expressing gratitude to the state Supreme Court for its decision yesterday to uphold a conviction of former pediatrician Earl Bradley. Bradley is serving life in prison for the sexual abuse of scores of patients over more than a decade at his Lewis area compound. Yesterday, the justices rejected Bradley's appeal, challenging the search warrant that police used to seize homemade videos of Bradley's sexual assaults. Biden said in a statement that Bradley will never walk out of prison. Quote, "We are gratified by the clarity of the court's thoughtful and well-crafted decision and the finality it brings to the legal process." The Chesapeake Bay program says 3,775 acres of wetlands have been restored in the past year, led by Virginia, which has restored more than 1,600 acres. Maryland was second with 750 acres, and Delaware restored 123 acres in its portion of the Chesapeake Bay watershed. The regional partnership coordinates bay restoration efforts, says wetlands are important to the overall ecosystem of the Chesapeake Bay. CBS News covers the nation and the world next on Delaware 1059. Delaware 1059 news time, 9:31.
Economy added 96,000 jobs in August, and the unemployment rate dropped to 8.1% from 8.3%.
That's CBSMoneyWatch.com's Jill Schlesinger.
Now, this is a mixed bag message here because the job creation number is a little bit lighter than expected. And while the unemployment rate dropping seems like a good thing, it probably dropped simply because a lot of people stopped looking for jobs or left the labor force.
PNC Bank senior economist Gus Fauché.
There's still a lot of uncertainty out there about the election, about what's going to happen to taxes and spending. I think that is weighing on job growth.
President Obama, in his convention acceptance speech last night, said if he gets a second term and federal spending is adjusted,
I will use the money we're no longer spending on war to pay down our debt and put more people back to work.
Following the report on August joblessness, Mitt Romney says in a statement, if last night was the party, this morning is the hangover. CBS News Update, I'm Dave Barrett.
My name is Ernie Lopez, and I'm proud to be a conservative Republican running in the new 6th state senatorial district. I'm running for the state senate because I'm tired of the waste, fraud, and lack of accountability that we constantly see as the result of one-party rule in Dover. More importantly, as a father of young daughters and a son with parents of retirement age in Sussex County, I'm tired of being let down by people in positions of trust right here in our backyard, taking advantage of our most vulnerable populations, our children and seniors. Today, I ask you to vote for me, Ernie Lopez, on September 11th in the Delaware Republican primary in the new 6th state senatorial district. Thank you, God bless you, and I proudly approve this message, which is paid for by Lopez for Senate.
White is the new green, and all the flat roofs are wearing it.
Energy-efficient white roofing from Delmarva Roofing and Coating reflects 85% of the sun's energy, cutting your cooling costs by up to 50%. It lasts longer than traditional roofing, and it's lightweight, which allows you to save on structural building costs. Plus, Delmarva Roofing and Coating has the expertise to install roofing on the cutting edge. Right now, they're offering free energy audits to show how a new white roof can save you money. Call Delmarva Roofing and Coating or visit delmarvaroofing.com.
From the first town in the first state in the USA, we're WXDE Lewis, Delaware 1059.
Susan, Monday at 10 o'clock, we're live at Jimmy's Grill. Thank you so much, everybody who's come by Jimmy's Grill. We appreciate it greatly. It is a tremendous crowd. You still have time to get here by 10 o'clock and participate in their 222 special for only $1.05. Michelle is still smiling. She's still smiling.
Come over here and say hi. Here, sit on my lap. Good morning, everybody.
How you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing great. I'm having a wonderful time. All of the waitresses are still smiling, serving up the coffee. Miss Vern's cooking up a storm. People are really excited, having a blast in here. Glad to welcome you back, Dan.
Thank you.
Enjoying our breakfast here.
Leave good tips. The breakfast was virtually nothing, so leave good
That's
tips.
right. Thank you very much. Everybody has been very good to us. We do appreciate it. Keep
All right.
coming in, okay?
All right, very good. Dave Hill is here. We're going to spend a minute before we get Sam Wilson on the air in our open microphone. We are going to talk about two festivals coming up at Outlet Liquors. These are food, and one is a food and beer, one's a food and wine. Tell us about it.
I want folks to mark the calendars and keep the date in mind. We're having our first annual beer festival a week from tomorrow. So that'll be September 15th, noon to 3. It's an event that really everyone needs to go to. It's a must be seen at and must attend. We'll start with our live entertainment. We have acoustic music by Love Seed. And since it's a beer festival, the main reason folks are there, we're going to have the opportunity for our customers to taste over 60 craft beers and from the microbreweries. And Delaware is one of the leading states in the nation in that area and industry, with clearly the nation's leader, Dogfish, and what the fine job that Sam has done. We have 16 Mile, we have Evolution. We're going to have all the local micro and craft beers in addition with a total of 60 beers. Then we're going to have food as well. We're going to have Hickman's Meats. So if anyone has done barbecues, or if you're looking for meat in Rehoboth or even Sussex County or downstate Delaware, everyone goes to Hickman Meats. They'll have samplings from their meat selection. We won't be in Philly, but if you want Philadelphia-style pretzels, the Pretzel Factory here in Rehoboth is the place that makes them. Chicken from Kickin' Chicken, which everyone knows down here in Rehoboth and Lewis. Food from the fabulous Rusty Rudder and Primo Hoagies. Dan, you're going to be there. You're going to be there 12 to 2.
Yep, broadcasting for that event. I've been to these things before to help promote them on the radio show, and they work out really well.
We love you there. The customers love you there. But the event's going to run 12 to 3, 60 micro craft beers. Be there. It's a week from Sunday, all inside. We'll spread out throughout the whole store. Then in October, we hold twice a year these wine festivals that people mark their calendars a year in advance. And we get calls from people from Pennsylvania. Some of the folks who've been visiting Rehoboth on the day of our wine festivals come by. They go out of their way to come back again. That's going to be Saturday, October the 13th. 12 to 3. Again, we're going to have well over 80 wines, could probably be up to 100. We're going to have restaurants, entertainment by Kathy Gorman, Sussex County Sweetheart of Song. If you love the 60s, 70s music, you will love hearing Kathy Gorman. That'll run 12 to 3 Saturday, September the 13th. No one wants to miss these events, and that'll be our fall one there. Tastes great wines, great food, entertainment, all at Outlet Liquors, where you always have the best selection, best value, the most helpful staff, wonderful shopping experience. I mean, if you're going to buy beer, wine, and spirits, Outlet Liquors is the place to go, and just talk to anyone who shopped there. The customers speak for themselves. So
thank you, Dave Hill. Outlet Liquors. Dave Hill, you've been a good guy to know. It was awesome to meet you. Thank you for all your help here on these Jimmy's Grill broadcasts. I want to thank Mid-South Audio for our studio setup.
These are fabulous. And back on the air with Dan, yay.
Mid-South Audio, Georgetown, Delaware. Special shout out to you folks for your assistance. Kevin Short has a tremendous business. Sam, do you know Kevin Short?
I had him in my Sunday school class.
Oh my goodness. Now we're showing our age or something here, right?
Years ago.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was a good kid.
Sam Wilson.
And I know his dad and mom. He's been my plumber for about 50 years.
Oh my goodness.
That's Mr. Hal Short, does a good job. They're good friends. Goes to church together, so I've known him a long time.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks
Well,
for having me.
you have a primary opponent. We talked to Mr. Christensen last hour, and you're up for re-election, and the election is next Tuesday. What does Sam Wilson want to say to the people in the 2nd Councilmatic District?
Well, anybody's more conservative than me, I say go vote for him, but I don't know who it would be. And
Your opponent said he is.
Oh, well. Well, I don't think he knows me. I've worked, actually, I want to say to start with, it's been a real privilege and an honor to serve the voters of this district. I have really worked hard at it. I've spent hours in Dover. I spent hours, I've even been over to Washington several times lobbying for our county, for what's best for our district. I've worked against some of the regulations on EPA, how it's trying to harm businesses and things like that. I've worked with the transportation department. I've talked to them several times to help people get entrance. So I go beyond just sitting there on that county bench. It takes a lot of hours. There's weeks go by, I probably spend 30, 40 hours a week doing my county business. And I always put my phone number out. Anybody's got a problem, they call me, and I try to do the best I can to answer it or try to get them help or try to get them on their way. I try to keep businesses rolling, which I don't believe government is the business, that they create jobs. It costs us money to have government to create jobs. So I believe the private sector is the way it goes. So I work hard for the private sector to stay in this, stay in business.
Let me just ask you something, because it was spoken of earlier. I'll ask you to comment on some of the things your opponent, Mr. Christensen, said, that he was kind of giving you some grief over not supporting a reduction in the discretionary funds, enough of a reduction in those discretionary funds that you get to hand out as a county councilman, and also that you voted to give money to the League of Women Voters, which he was telling us, in his view, is a liberal organization.
Well, I couldn't agree with him more. I believe LW, I call LWV liberal, not league. It's a liberal women voters. But the money did not go to them. They put the package together with all the phone numbers of all representatives, senators, councilmen, and also all the row offices, and plus all the people that work in the county, all different departments. Those numbers, you can flip that up and you get those numbers very easily. And the money was given to Mr. Charles Rogers for printing after these things were put together. I found out that the League of Women Voters had something to do with that. So immediately, after it was brought to my attention, we voted. This coming year, Women League voters will not even have their name on it. We will put it out and pay for it by the county. So it's been changed.
All right.
So when it brings my attention, I try to get it corrected.
What about the discretionary funds issue?
When I came on the county council, they were giving away $75,000. Each one had $75,000. It wasn't really a giveaway. It goes to good organizations. Now, when I came on, it was $75,000. I said, if we're going to lead here by telling people we ought to cut, and things are being cut, we ought to at least cut this fund 50%. So we went from $75,000 to $37,500 a year. And just last couple weeks, I gave the Allendale Fire Company, and they have now built a substation like in Lincoln to help improve fire service. I gave them over $10,000, which I think is a good thing to spend money like that.
Yeah.
So those
I guess he was saying that I guess it was Joan Deaver wanted to cut it down to 10 grand per councilman.
Well, Joan was thinking when she first came on that she wanted to get rid of discretionary funds when she was on the outside looking in. Then as she got on the inside, Joan is the first one in line to get her money, always. And sometimes I don't agree with how she spends her money, but she got all her little pet peeves. So, but I try to think that firemen is our biggest bang for the buck. They work totally free. And if we as taxpayers are not willing to chip in a few dollars to help the fire companies to get along, we'd have to work. I stopped last week at the Greenwood Fire Company, and there was the Allendale Fire Company working on their day off, up our sweating, trying to raise money for a fire company that's a service to everybody. So I feel like I'm part of it, and I feel like I should help it.
Well, Sam, you obviously are trying to be reelected. Your opportunity to talk to your voters, Republican voters, in a primary for next Tuesday. What do you want to say?
Well, I'm just hoping they'll come out and vote. Most people know that they pay attention to the record, how we've worked on trying to keep people honest. And we've actually, I want to tell you that we cut out $1 million out of our budget. And those people that received their tax bill this year were some short of paying as much tax they paid last year. We even cut down capitation tax, so it's over $1 million savings. Now, when the rest of the candidates throughout this United States are going broke, and some of them even into bankruptcy, we have managed to cut our spending and run this more thriftily when it was in the past, actually. In fact, Dan, when I came on during the boom years, about 4 years ago, we took in about 45 million transfer taxes. This past year, we took in 15 million, and we still sent back $1 million on budgeting. So I've run a farm for years, and I know how it is. You got to cut corners. I know how you got to run a business. I try to run the county the same way.
Sam, how can people learn more from you? Call you?
Well, they can call me on 856-2972. I've handed out hundreds of these cards with my phone number on it. This is another thing I do. I put this job as really such an honor and privilege to have that I work full time. I'm taking phone calls 10 o'clock at night. I'm taking phone calls as early as 6 o'clock in the morning, all day long. If you don't get me, put it on my cell phone or call me on my house phone, and I will respond. I have so many people say, Sam, it's amazing you find time to call me back, but I call them back and see if I can't help.
Thank you very much, Sam Wilson.
Thank you, Dan.
I don't know. It's been a long time. We had someone on hold, and I wouldn't expect them to still be there, but since we are live, I'll just check if Frank in Bethany is on the line. He may be long gone. Frank, are you still there at all? Hello, Frank. All right, he's gone. He's not here. I certainly can't hear him. Thank you very much, Sam Wilson. Hey, what was up? Mike Miller stopped by. He was a guest earlier this week. He said he wanted a minute. I've got just a minute or two here. Did you want to say something real quick here today? Thanks for coming on the microphone.
I just want to say,
you're running against Andy Staton, who I had on as a guest, and you were on and you wanted to say something.
Yes, I just want the voters to know that there is a clear choice between the candidates, and we have distinct differences in how to move forward with the 6th district. And I'm asking for your vote. I mean, no one be discriminated in any kind of way in our district. No one should, everyone should have a job. I believe we should work together. And that's what I'm willing to do for the citizens. And, I provide a service right now with both of my businesses, taxman, accountant service, Miller's Lawn Service. I want to continue to provide a great service to the people of the state of Delaware.
Anything else, Mike?
I just thank you, Dan. Look, I made the switch too, so this is a great deal.
Yeah, I'm glad you came over here today.
Thank you, Dan.
I want to get you a coffee mug. Did you get a coffee mug?
No, I didn't get a coffee mug.
I'm going to make sure all the candidates get a coffee mug, all right?
I'd love to have one.
All right, thanks, man.
All right,
We'll get you hooked
Dan.
up. Well, Mike, you know, and you did mention one of the differences on the gay marriage issue. That was clear cut between the two of you. It's another big difference.
Yeah, you know, I heard my opponent, you know, he kind of like skirted around it, but, you know, there's a distinct difference. He supports it. I don't. And the voters should know that there's a clear choice, you know, family values. I'm a family man, have 2 children. I understand what it is to put my kids on the school bus. I understand what it is to be there for football games and education and what we need to do. I understand those things. And the voters need to understand that, too, when they go to the polls on Tuesday.
Mike Miller. There's only one candidate in the 6th District we haven't talked with, Bob Frederick. He'll be on Monday morning, all right? Then you will have heard them all on the Dan Gaffney program within a week's time. We are live at Jimmy's Grill. We have one more segment from here in Bridgeville, Delaware. Dan Gaffney program of the new Delaware 105.9.
It's like having a CBS News app right there on your dashboard. Check in for a quick update on the hour throughout your busy day. The new Delaware 105.9.
It's going to be warmer with a good deal of sunshine today. The high 88 and partly cloudy, warm, humid tonight with a low 68. Front comes through tomorrow, expecting strong thunderstorm late in the day. There will also be some sunshine. It'll be breezy, warm, and humid with a high of 86. Behind the front, though, Sunday is going to be gorgeous, partly sunny and not as warm with lower humidity and a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson in the Delaware 105 Weather Center.
Now, there's plenty of blame to go around for the mess we're in today. That's why it's critical common sense voters send a senator to Dover we can trust. To challenge the status quo.
And that break was my fault. I was talking to Mark.
Republican or Democrat, proven experience in businesses in creating. As a lifelong small business owner, Glenn's the strongest voice against increasing attacks on job creators, seniors, and middle-class families. And Glenn Urquhart has made creating jobs, 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 along with sound fiscal policy, his top priority for Delaware. He'll serve full-time without conflicts as our voice in Dover. It's time we send Glenn Urquhart to the front lines. As hard as the liberal politicians in Dover are pushing to tax and spend more of your money, common-sense voters can trust Glenn Urquhart to push back. Paid for by Glenn Urquhart for Senate. Visit GlennForSenate2012.com. That's GlennForSenate2012.com.
I'm Glenn Urquhart, my key business name.
McFoy Refrigeration, Heating, and
Dan, you want to keep this call on hold? Or just it's just a regular call.
Years of experience handling business customers' needs. Here's Craig McFoy.
We service commercial industrial heating and air conditioning equipment. We do our best to keep it running and operating for the business owners, to keep them running and operating. Any business, any size, we'll take care of their facility.
Don't leave your business's specialty cooling and refrigeration needs to just anyone. Call McFoy for 24/7 emergency service.
As the service calls come in daily, they're taken care of daily. We know our business owners personally. We talk to them. They call us directly.
Dan, I still have this guy on the phone if you want to talk to him.
Okay, I'll come right to him.
Man,
Man, you must really want something. Refrigeration like walk-in freezers, reach-ins, deli cases, display cases.
I didn't really screen him, but he just said he was Frank
air
from Becky.
conditioning,
So.
and heating. Businesses call McFoy Refrigeration at 424-8335. 424-8335.
The biggest sale of the year
Well, we got
at
about 30
Shorts
seconds.
Marine.
If you want to keep going for another, 6 or 8 hours, I'm used to like 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, right. You're ready for a nap.
Prices of the season on over 400 boats, motors,
At least if I was you, I'd be ready.
accessories. Serious bargain hunters know that this is the
get warmed
marine
up.
event you can't miss. The biggest sale of the year at Shorts Marine in tax-free Millsboro, Delaware. If you're a boater, don't miss these big deals. Rain or shine, it absolutely ends Sunday. Everything but the water.
From the first town in the first state in the USA, we're WXDE Lewis, Delaware 105.9.
We are live at Jimmy's Grill, and we're going to go to the telephones here. We have Frank in Bethany. Frank, thanks for standing by. I don't like to put people on hold for a long time in the morning, but you've been standing by. What's on your mind? Frank?
Good morning, Dan. It's Frank.
Hi, Frank.
I'd like to respond to one of the new political ads that's being played by Mr. Bodenweiser.
Sure, go ahead, Frank.
Well, he's now making accusations that, as being made by his opponent, Joe Booth, Senator Joe Booth, that Mr. Bodenweiser has been taken out of context. Well, my voice was in one of those ads asking him a question on your show.
Right.
And his answer is not out of context. It was taken from an interview he did with Angel Clark, where he made the statement that Republicans should take lessons from Democrats and learn to sweep things like drunk driving charges under the carpet.
How?
Mr. Bodenweiser, in a phone, doesn't know the difference between a ladder and a shovel.
How did they get that audio, by the way? You know, because my voice is on there, and some of it was on the show, and I, didn't give specific permission, but I guess
That's the beauty of the internet, Dan. Nothing ever really goes away.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I mean, some of those interviews were out there in public, so.
Well, I can tell you, though, that the Angel Clark is actually up on YouTube. I've linked to it on my blog numerous times in its entirety. Mr. Bodenweiser had called into her show to try and explain away other outrageous statements that he had made previously, and as usual, Mr. Bodenweiser made more outrageous statements. He has a habit of doing that. And now he's making an outrageous accusation that he's being taken and quoted out of context. And I would just like to assure the voters of the 19th Senatorial District that those statements are in context, and they're pretty straightforward and clear.
All right. That's Frank. You are a very clear-cut supporter for Senator Joe Booth. And in this very hotly contested primary battle with Eric Bodenweiser, we expect calls like that. We do take your phone calls. 839-1059. 839-1059. And I ask you, listeners, is it always my job to kind of come to the defense of other candidates? I don't think so. That's kind of your job. If things are going, one way when callers are calling in, you want it to swing back the other way, get on the phone and be a part of the show. 839-1059, right? I mean, I'm not in the back pocket of any candidate, even though I count many of them as friends. When they're candidates, they're candidates. When they're not candidates, they're friends. You got to treat them. Everybody, has got to get treated the same. That's all. That's all I'm saying. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you. Colin Walls.
Am I supposed to be taking the defense of Eric Bodenweiser?
If you'd like to.
Okay.
Yeah, go right ahead. I mean, that's what I mean. Anybody that wants to come up to the microphone, I can do that. Go for it.
Eric is a friend of mine.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm like you. He is in a political deal here, and he said some things, whether they're out of context or not, I'm not sure. But I mean, I've heard that commercial, and I think that it's kind of making it look like Eric is a bad guy as far as his dad sold the stores. That part right there, where his dad sold the stores, and he said, he cut me a piece of the pie big enough, I don't have to work anymore if I don't have to.
If I don't want to, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. I don't see why that's a bad thing, because I do know for a fact that Eric worked hard for his dad for many years in that business, and he was part of why the business was successful. So, I mean,
I don't know why they use that clip. And maybe that's what he means out of context. It was in the context of I worked there, and then I got paid when they sold.
Right. The way when I heard it, the way it was being presented, I thought was that, Eric has just been given everything in life. He didn't have to work for it. His dad just cut him a check, and it was. And that's not the case.
So in that sense, if you don't know the whole story of Eric Bodenweiser's work life, I guess you would say Eric could very clearly say that that's taken out of context, even though it's not jumbled around or edited, but out of complete context, I suppose.
Right.
Which all sound bites are, in a sense, right?
Yeah, they are.
But I understand what you're saying. I'm glad you had a chance. And that part is true, right? I mean, he worked the stores, and then when they sold it or whatever they did.
And I forget how many years it was, but I mean, it's in the 20 years or so, I think. So.
I'll be glad when it's over. It's fun to watch. I'll be glad when it's all over.
Yeah.
You know, emotions run high on both sides, and you know, can't we all get along? That's why Return Day is one of my favorite days. Burying the hatchet.
Right. And the worst part is with the Bodenweiser Booth race, they're two really good guys. That, you know, what do you do? You know, what can you say bad about either one of them? The way I see it, I mean, I like them both.
Even though they're each trying to find something.
Yeah.
Each of them are trying to find something, right?
I mean, they are both conservative guys. If that's what you're looking for, they are both conservative guys, I think.
All right. Thank you very much, Colin Walls. 9:56. Tony from Lazy Lake says hi, watching on CatchItLive.com. Thank you, Tony. Here's a message. On Tuesday, please mention it's September 11th. It's primary day. Go to vote. But most of all, please take time to remember 9/11 World Trade Center, Pentagon, the plane in Pennsylvania, and thank all the police, fire, EMTs for their service. These are all notes that have been handed to me. Okay. Also, the first debate between Alex Pires and Senator Carper and Kevin Wade is scheduled for Thursday, September 13th, the Jewish Community Center in Wilmington. Alex Pires seems to think that Tom Carper will show up at that debate.
Yeah, Catch It Live may be covering that.
Another note, in the Cape Gazette, in a Glenn Urquhart for Senate ad, State Senate, it says, vote September 11th. September. September is spelled wrong. I don't know who's responsible for that, but it's kind of funny when it shows a picture of a candidate and it says temper above his head. It says September. September. It's September.
Who spotted that?
Who spotted that? Someone this morning, I forget. You know, it's terrible that I forget, but somebody did. They did spot that. It's hilarious, right? And all the candidates seem to like it.
Did you get the note that I handed you, the one about if anybody has any extra $100 bills laying around to send them to me?
Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
anybody that has extra $100 bills can take them to bringmegas.com.
That's right. Gold bars. We also accept gold bars, silver.
Thank you, Wellers. Thank you, Wellers. Thank you, Burkholder Building. Thank you, Bring Me Gas. Thank you, George Sherman Corporation. And thank you, Jimmy's Grill. Thanks, Tom Schultz, for running the board and the entire staff at Delmarva Broadcasting Company. It's been a fun first broadcast. We're back next Friday. The Dan Gaffney Morning Show back Monday morning as well on Delaware 1059.
Davis said that they said the picture. Yeah. No, I'm sure they said that. That's oh well. They said it. Decisive, funny.
You've been watching the Dan Gaffney Show on CatchItLive.com.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. Good night.
I'm just making sure I didn't get on TV.
You don't want to be on TV? You've been on radio the whole time.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I've been on TV.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have a face for you.
Yes, thank you. All right. Appreciate everything. That's right. That's right.
See you, Dave.
Yo. We'll be down there tomorrow. We're going to an antique. That's exactly right.